President Trump did not dismiss the suggestion of a sit-down with Vladimir Putin when the idea was raised by a little-known foreign policy advisor during a 2016 meeting, according to a report on Wednesday. While Trump on Tuesday knocked George Papadopoulos as a liar and a low-level volunteer, the man now at the center of the Russia investigation once had a seat at the then candidates' table. Trump assembled his team of foreign policy experts in March 2016 for a conference. Papadopoulos, in what the White House described as his only face-to-face encounter between the two, suggested that the Republican meet with Putin, according to court filings related to the 30-year-old's pleading guilty to lying to the FBI. He didn't say yes and he didn't say no, an official who was in the room told CNN. It was the head of Trump's national security team, then Alabama Senator and current Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, who poo-pooed the suggestion. Papadopoulos was arrested in July and interviewed repeatedly by investigators, according to court papers. Prosecutors, seeking to keep the case sealed after his plea was entered, argued that they shared substantial information with Papadopoulos, providing a roadmap of sorts in an attempt to jog his memory. LinkedIn.com his plea deal, dropping charges down to lying to agents about his interactions with officials close to the Kremlin, is now at the heart of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian meddling in the presidential election and the possibility that Trump associates coordinated the efforts. Papadopoulos told the FBI that he told those at the meeting that he had connections that could help arrange a meeting between then-candidate Trump and President Putin, according to court documents. According to court documents, top Trump campaign officials urged Papadopoulos to meet with Russians, and may have been aware of the ing of Democratic emails long before the public found out. The advisor is described as a proactive cooperator in court documents, which means he is likely working with Mueller's investigators. Mueller also announced charges against Trump's ex-campaign chairman Paul Manafort and Manafort's longtime aide Rick Gates on Monday. The pair allegedly funneled millions of dollars from secret lobbying deals into Ukraine through overseas shell companies. The White House, meanwhile, dismissed the March meeting with the foreign policy advisors as a one-off conference of little substance. Kevin Lamarqueuters again, it was a brief meeting that took place quite some time ago. It was the one time that group ever met, Sanders said on Monday. It also emerged on Tuesday that a desperate need for foreign policy advisors on a campaign that wasn't being taken seriously led to Papadopoulos' rise in the world of Trump politics. The relative unknown was hired by a then-struggling Ben Carson campaign in 2015 to beef up the doctor's policy credentials. All of the foreign policy establishment, the A-listers, were working for Jeb Bush or Marco Rubio, Barry Bennett, Carson's campaign manager, told The Hill. So here's this 28-year-old kid who is not terribly sophisticated, but he solved my problem of needing to put a bunch of names on a list. I'm sure he wrote some things for us, but I don't know that we used any of it. He hired the unknown after contacting him on the resume-sharing site, LinkedIn. Papadopoulos, whose thin credentials included a political science degree from DePaul University and some time at a conservative think tank, went on to work for the Trump campaign a few months later. Aaron Bernstein Reuters Bennett said he wasn't consulted when the Trump campaign appointed Papadopoulos to its National Security Committee in March. The longtime GOP operative told the Wall Street Journal he would have advised the campaign against bringing the novice into the ranks. We hired him, and he was basically a no-show, Bennett said. Papadopoulos obviously thought more of his worth than his former boss. In April, he emailed the Wall Street Journal to describe his work with Trump's campaign. He said he advised the campaign on energy and foreign policy, and said his role extended through the transition. I worked in a team and provided advice and analysis based on my experience working overseas, in the energy business and in the think tank sector for what I thought would make good U.S. energy and foreign policy under a prospective President Trump, he wrote. I provided advice throughout the transition to senior-level folks.